¿Qué tal, estudiantes? Por favor, saquen los apuntes que se llaman uso de complementos directos e indirectos. All right. Before we start, I want to make sure that you guys take your time in listening to these notes and following along. This can be a really complicated concept for students because we don't use our direct objects the same way. So please do listen carefully. All right, let's first review what direct objects are. We've learned what direct objects are, complementos directos, and we've also learned what complementos indirectos are, which are indirect objects. We've used them separately, but we've never used them together. So let's just review. Direct object pronouns answer the question, what or who? What does that mean? So if I ask you, who did you see yesterday? And you told me, I saw my friend. And then I would say, did you see him for a long time? That him is the direct object. And that would be lo in this case. So we got me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, las. ¿Cuáles son los complementos indirectos? Me, te, le, nos, os, and les. Indirect object pronouns answer the question to whom or for whom or to what or for what something is done. So direct objects answer the question who or what. What am I going to receive? A present. That would be the direct object. To whom are you going to give the present? That would be the indirect object. To my mom. So let's take a look. Cuando usamos los pronombres de complementos directos e indirectos juntos, that means together, escribe el complemento indirecto antes del complemento directo. What's that saying? It's saying that indirect objects will precede or come before direct objects. To help you remember this, I've told students to think of the word ID as in identification. So I comes first, the indirect object, and then the direct, the ID. Let's look at an example of what this might look like in a sentence. Si necesitas un teléfono celular, yo te lo doy. So te is the indirect object. Lo is the direct object here. If you need a cell phone, I will give it to you. The it is the cell phone. That's the what I am giving. To whom? It is to you. ¿Quién te prestará la computadora? Octavio me la prestará. So here we just use the indirect object pronoun, who will lend you the computer, because we don't even know what the what is yet. But in the response, you can use the object to take the place. So you can use the pronoun to take the place of the object. Octavio me la prestará. Octavio will lend it to me. Cuando el pronombre de complemento directo, le o les, viene antes del complemento directo, lo, la, los o las, cambia le o les a se. All right, this is where it gets a little tricky. So the indirect objects le and les change into the word se when they precede lo, la, los, or las in a sentence. Let's just take a look. En estos casos, a menudo necesitas añadir, which is to add, la frase preposicional a usted, a él, a ella, etc., o a más sustantivo, which is a noun or some sort of noun, o el nombre de una persona para hacer más clara la frase. Because le or les could mean él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes, or any name, it's going to be necessary for us to clarify who that se is referring to. Because if we don't know who se refers to, it's not going to have a lot of meaning. Let's take a look at down here. ¿A quién le comunicarán la noticia del descubrimiento? Who are they going to communicate the news of the discovery 2. Se la comunicaremos a Carlos. We will communicate it, the law, meaning the noticia, a Carlos, which would be ley, because who are we going to communicate it to? We said to Carlos. But since ley cannot go before law, you can't say ley law in Spanish, we have to convert the ley to se. Se la comunicaremos a Carlos. Another example. José y Adela quieren leer los libros sobre el nuevo invento. ¿Puedes prestárselos? Can you lend them, meaning the books, to them? So can you lend them to them? That's a lot of thems, but the se refers to José y Adela. Let's move on. Cuando añades, again, añades means add, dos pronombres de complemento a un infinitivo. Watch this. When you add two pronouns to an infinitive, mandato, that would only be affirmative commands, o presente participio, that would be your ando y endo, siempre necesitas añadir un acento para mantener la fuerza en la sílaba original. So what we have to do is add accents in order to maintain that original sound. Let's see some examples. Quiero ver las fotos que van a usar para el mercadeo. Dámelas, por favor. Give them to me. Notice again, it's ID, indirect, direct. No puedo dártelas hoy. Espera hasta mañana. I can't give them to you today. Wait until tomorrow. There we have to add the accent because we've added these two syllables. All right, let's do a little bit of práctica. Try to think about what the answer is before I show you the response. So Carla and Laura want to be prepared for the future. Complete what they say about with the object pronouns appropriate, the appropriate object pronouns. Laura quiere que le preste mi libro sobre genética. So Laura wants me to lend my book to her about genetics, pero no, basically I don't want to lend it to her. So the to her we know is ley, and it's the se that changes, that the ley changes into. So no se lo voy a prestar, I'm not going to lend it to her. 2. ¿Viste el programa vía satélite sobre la importancia del español en el mundo? Recomiendo. So I recommend it. Who would I recommend it to? Probably the person I'm talking to, which would be you. So I would say, te lo recomiendo. I recommend it to you. What's the it? It's the programa. 3. No recibimos la información sobre los nuevos aparatos eléctricos. We did not receive information about the new electric appliances or gadgets. The manager, el gerente de la empresa, dice que enviará la próxima semana. So the manager says he will send next week. What will he send? It's got to be the información. To whom? Well, we're the ones that are complaining about not receiving it. So, nos la enviará. 4. Sé que ustedes comprarán una televisión digital. I know you guys will buy a digital TV. And I will borrow it from you. Pedir prestada. I will borrow it from you. Meaning, you guys. The say right here is really lace. But you can't say lace la. So the lace changes to say. I will lend, or I will borrow it from you. Guys. 5. Quiero leer el artículo sobre informática. Will you give... Obviously, you're not going to give it to yourself, so me lo das. Will you give it to me? 6. Nos explicaron la tarea sobre las nuevas fuentes de energía que habrá en el 2020. Pero no... All right, they did not explain it very well. And I talked about that they did explain the homework, but they probably didn't explain it well to us, right? Nos la explicaron muy bien. Y 7. Me compré un programa de realidad virtual. Mostraré. I will show it. Cuando vengas, when you come to my house. It's going to have to be Te lo mostraré. I will show it to you. Bueno, muchachos, gracias por mirar. Nos vemos mañana.